Let's look at a couple more examples when you would actually use destructuring in the real world. And this is not just when you want to grab variables out of an object or out of an array. So let's take a look right here where we're building an application for a wrestling application. And in wrestling, they are tag teaming. I don't really know that much about wrestling, but I know that there's one guy in the ring and one guy on the side. So let's create let in ring equals the Hulkster, and we'll say let on side equals the Rock. I'm not sure if these guys ever wrestle together, but it seems feasible. And they need to like tag team each other. So what happens when you need to switch? So the Rock's going in the ring and the Hulkster is going on the side. How did you do that before? Because if you do this, in ring is Hulk Hogan. If you say in ring equals on side, now in ring is the Rock, but then also on side is also the Rock, and we've lost the Hulkster altogether. So how do we actually get around that? Well, the way we used to be able to do it is we would make a like temp variable. So we'd say like var temp equals in ring, and then you'd say in ring equals on side, and on side equals temp. And then so they're totally switched now, and then you would delete your actual temp variable. And that's really hard to follow. That's hard to look at, especially if someone coming after 6 months of not working on this code, trying to understand what's going on. With destructuring, we can just swap them. So we just take an array, you say in ring on side equals on side in ring. What? So what that's going to do is it's going to create an array of onside in ring and immediately destructure them into the opposite variables. Now you see why I use let instead of const here, because we're actually going to be updating the values of these variables. So let's take these in ring onside variables, console log it beforehand, and then also console log it right after we do it. Hulk Hogan the Rock, and then the Rock Hulk Hogan. They've totally swapped themselves without the need for a third swap temp variable.